Death Valley Days, where Western history comes alive. With your host, Dale Robertson.
Stories of the Old West are stories of hardships and adventure, of dreams and of courage. Stories of the American pioneer are all a part of our past, of our heritage. In 1887, Frank Baum moved to South Dakota where a gold rush was on. He didn't find his fortune, well, not in gold anyway, but he did discover a treasure of ideas that later made him the Wizard of Aberdeen.
Well, what kind of foolishness has that father of yours written this week?
Take one, Mr. Regado. No charge.
There she was, this frightened little girl, swooped up by the magic wind and flown away through the clouds.
Ooh. Ah.
And dropped right smack in the middle of this strange, wondrous land. Okay, kids, that's all. See you tomorrow.
Dad.
Oh, come on, help me close up, son. Hey, did you deliver all your papers?
These. I couldn't sell them.
We are doing so well, aren't we?
Mr. Baum.
Good afternoon, Mr. Luggado. Milford?
May I remind you, Mr. Baum, that you are 2 months behind in your rent?
Yes, I was going to talk to you about that, sir. I had to pay for the printing press and the paper and...
Aberdeen operates on money, Mr. Baum, not on nonsense and fairy tales.
Little girl, dog, evil woman takes dog, swooped up by the magic wind. Don't you ever finish a story, Frank?
They're just notes.
You've got enough of them to wallpaper a room.
I guess the room could use some wallpaper, couldn't it?
You spend so much time scribbling these little notes. More time than you give to the newspaper.
Oh, they're just ideas from the stories I tell the children. You know, when I was young, I wanted to write the great American novel. Oh, I was going to be famous. But aside from my evident inability to do anything great, I've come to regard fame as a will-o'-the-wisp. But to please a child, it's a sweet and lovely thing. It warms the heart. Does that sound ridiculous, Maud?
From another man, maybe. But not from you.
You know, it's embarrassing, really.
What?
For a grown man to believe in fairy godmothers. Well, she sent me you, didn't she?
Understand, Dad. If people like our newspaper, why do we owe so much money?
They don't take it serious, son. Well, they enjoy it, but they don't buy it. You see, one person will buy a copy of the Pioneer, and then 4 people read it at one time. And then they pass it on to somebody else.
I still don't get it.
Well, son, grown-ups play games too sometimes, only they don't always realize it. You see, in Aberdeen, it's just not considered smart to buy the Pioneer. But I tell you what, I'll bet you more people read it than the other one.
Just a minute, Dad. Dad, they want to know if you'll tell them a story.
Oh, okay. Hey, but they have to walk along home with us. We cannot be late for dinner again. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's see. There was this gingerbread man. And he had a suit of frosting and a hat made of apple skin. And one day... So the mean Mr. Toto chased the gingerbread man, and just as he was about to catch him... Linda, stop that. What are you doing?
This old scarecrow, it frightens me every time I pass. I'm gonna tear him down.
Oh, no, you mustn't do that. Well, he can't hurt you. Look at it. He's just a pathetic big rag doll. He's just old clothes stuffed with straw.
But he scares me.
Well, that's why they call him a scarecrow. But he's supposed to scare crows, not little girls. Maybe you have a little crow in you, huh, Glenda? You know, when I was a little boy, I used to have nightmares about an old scarecrow we had on one of our fields. I used to dream he was chasing me. Then I realized he's just a scarecrow. Poor old guy. He didn't even have any brains. He's just plain stupid. Now, don't you feel sorry for him?
I guess so.
You know, he's a pretty skinny old scarecrow at that. Why don't we fatten him up? Huh? Come on, help us.
Come on, Josh, give me
it. That's funny. Give it to me. Do you want people to make more fun of you reading this foolish rag?
Oh, Pop, a lot of people read things in that paper and laugh, too.
You listen to them. Cecilia, go inside. How old are you now, son?
27.
Well, when I was your age...
Oh, Pop, I heard all that before.
Well, I am going to tell it to you again. I was married. I was supporting a wife and a child. And look at you.
Well, I got a job.
What, cleaning out a stable? Shoveling hay?
Well, it's good, honest work.
Oh, I want my flesh and blood to be somebody in this town. I want people to look up to him and respect him.
Well, I got a lot of friends.
Oh, friends puts no money in your pockets.
That's the trouble with you, Pa. That's all you worry about is just money. Now, maybe if you'd worry more about friends and less about money, you'd be a happier man.
And maybe you wouldn't have this fine house and food on the table and clothes on your back.
Hey, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Tommy's too scared to go near the old mill after dark.
Thinks there's ghosts and goblins there or something.
I know how you feel, son. I felt the same way once. Sometimes it seems life is unbearable without a little bit of courage. Seems to me I remember a story about a ferocious-looking animal. Not a tiger, an elephant. It was a lion. That's it. It was a lion. You see, there was this ferocious-looking lion who was just a big old scared pussycat. He used to hide in the jungle because he was so afraid. Axle grease peddler, crockery salesman. Came out here and opened a general store, and that went bankrupt.
Well, you gave out too much credit. 161 people still owe us money from the store.
And now the newspaper. You sure picked a dilly of a husband.
You have a wonderful mind and a marvelous imagination. It'll pay off one day.
Well, imagination won't pay those bills. How long am I going to chase rainbows?
You'll find yours one day.
Well, if you say it, I believe it. I better get back to the office. I still have a newspaper to get out.
Cecilia Rugado's birthday is Monday. Why don't you say something about it in the paper?
Okay. I'll do a little feature on it. Get them delivered fast, son, and we'll walk home together.
Okay. Saturday Fun Air! Saturday Fun Air! Get Saturday Fun Air! Saturday Fun Air! You want Saturday Fun Air? Saturday Fun Air! Saturday Fun Air! Get Saturday Fun Air!
Miss Rugado, who claims to be all of 19, has lied all these years in Aberdeen. Lied? Oh, dear.
Cecilia, go in the house. Milford, come out here. He is not going to get away with this.
Yes, Pa.
Look at this newspaper. See how that Frank Baum has insulted your sister? You are going to show that Eastern whippersnapper that he cannot insult your sister.
What's that for?
Cecilia's honor is at stake. The whole town is laughing. You are going to defend your sister's good name.
I am.
And at the same time, show him what kind of a man you are. Come on.
Pa, I don't like guns.
Put it on.
Josh! Did you deliver all the papers, son?
Just like you said, Dad. All but these two.
Did you read what your father wrote about Cecilia Rugado?
No, I haven't had time. Been delivering my papers.
My mother says Cecilia's 25 if she's a day. It's Milford, and he's wearing a gun.
Mr. Rugado.
Your husband is going to pay for insulting Cecilia. Milford will see to that.
Oh, I'm sure there must be some mistake. You see, sometimes when printing a newspaper...
You can't stop my son, Mrs. Baum. He is determined to defend his sister's honor. Look at the set of his jaw, the fire of his eyes.
But, Mr. Rugado...
Some people in this town think of Milford Rugado as just a stable boy, but they are going to find out what my son is made of.
I'm sure if you'd let my husband explain...
I can't stop my son, Mrs. Baum. His blood runs hot with vengeance. Call him out.
Mr. Baum. He's not here.
Frank Baum!
I was just going to come over and see you, Mr. Rugado.
Too late for apologies. The damage is done. My son demands satisfaction.
Oh, well, I'll print a retraction.
No, you're not going to get out of this that easily. No. Milford, Tell him.
You're under arrest.
Now put that back in the hole. He will be waiting for you out in the street.
Waiting for me? You mean you want me to... You're talking about a duel. Me and Milford?
Right, you and Milford. Milford!
That's ridiculous.
We will see who is the real man here. You or my son. This whole town is going to see. Milford T. Ruggado is not something to be ridiculed. Milford?
What are you going to do, Frank?
Well, nothing. They'll cool off. Hey, fellas, what are you looking at me like that for?
But, Dad, if you don't face Milford, the whole town will think you're a coward.
Son, I don't care what the town thinks. It's what I think that's important.
But what about what we think? Me, Linda, Tommy, all of us.
Well, you all know how I feel about violence, about guns. Now, that's not the way to live. You know what I've told you.
But...
What do you want me to do, son? You want me to go get a gun and kill Milford? Or maybe he'll kill me. Is that what you want?
what else could you do?
Look, son, haven't I taught you that the measure of a man is not the muscle in his arm, it's what's in here, in his heart. That's what counts. Courage is not weighed by how good a man can fight. Hey, remember the story I told you about the lion that was so scared?
Are you scared, Dad?
Lend me your gun.
Everybody off the street. Not you, Milford. Here is your chance. Now you show them that you've got your father's blood in you. Good luck, boy. Out the street, it's gonna be a fight. My son, he's Watch what you're doing! Don't let him get behind you!
gonna hurt you. I told you to stop that. So you see, Milford, it was all a mistake. A typographical error.
A what?
The story was supposed to say your sister has lived all these years in Aberdeen, not lied. The letter V must have popped out of the typesetter. Understand?
Yeah.
So, well, you know I like your sister. I think Cecilia's a wonderful girl.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Baum.
So, we'll let your father and the others think we shot it out. Okay?
Okay.
Dad, for a minute there, I thought maybe you were...
I'm all right, son. I'm all right. Oh, it was close. He almost got me twice.
Hey, just missed me by a hair.
Well, I guess it was a draw, huh, Milford?
Yep. Fair fight. Right to the draw.
Guess I'm not a very good shot. Neither one of us are very good with a gun. Now, why don't we all go home and forget it?
Do you have the money? I want it right now, or I take back my store and your printing equipment.
Well, I guess it's all yours, Mr. Ruggido. Come on.
Pa, now, I don't mean any disrespect, but you're just plain mean. And I like working at the stable. And Celia does lie about her age. And I hate guns.
It'll be nice to get back to Illinois again.
Right back where we started from. I'm sorry, Maud.
Don't worry, dear. You'll find it. It's up there somewhere. Your rainbow.
Hey, Dad! You gonna tell us a story before dinner? Yeah!
Tell you what. You want to hear some more about the little girl who was swept away by the magic wind?
Oh, boy!
You're going to miss the oohs and ahs of these children back in Chicago.
Mr. Bond, what is the name of the place where the wind blew the little girl?
Oohs?
Oh, no.
No. Oz.
Oz.
The land of Oz. So there was Dorothy in this strange land of Oz with only her little dog for company. And as she walked through the forest, she looked over and saw a scarecrow.
Not long after he left South Dakota, Frank Baum put his notes together and found his rainbow in his book about a little girl named Dorothy and her friends, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man. They became the most beloved fairy tale in American literature, The Wizard of Oz.